Folks, Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the weekly roundup. I'm your host, Jake.
This is host Tyler.
We've got Tom Arnone on the ones and twos, coming to you live from the Real Talk Studios. Got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking about NFL free agency, the biggest move in free agency, new improved Cleveland Browns, and also we're going to be covering a little Desean Jackson just for the local Philadelphia fans. So, Tyler, how you doing?
Good, man.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. Heck of a free agency.
Even
before free agency started, we just start with just bombs.
Right off the bat, OBJ to the Browns is my big thing, in my opinion. But I mean,
That's the big thing.
oh, dude, when I saw that, I almost shit my pants.
Well, it was just it's just a lot of just big moves. Even before the legal tampering period, we had signings and potential trades and stuff like that.
And you had we had 80 was probably the biggest one at first.
Well,
of course.
Well, that didn't really surprise me just because of the because of the connection that him and Derek Carr had.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look back at the Pro Bowl, they were always talking and that whole thing. So that was, I think, a big part of it. But the big surprise, to me, was Le'Veon Bell. And I'm not saying the big surprise is to him, as him going to the Jets. It's more of just how much money he kind of screwed himself out of.
He said how he wanted to make more money, and Pittsburgh offered him, which is what, $14 million a year, a little more than that.
It was
5 years, $70 million deal.
It was a $70 million deal, and I think if I'm correct, I have it right here in front of me. It was 50 and some change.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
There. And then the Jets offered him 4 years, $55 million, and he took it right off the bat.
And he'll be He'll be 30 by the time he hits free agency again.
Yeah,
depending on how he does there, we'll see. But I'm trying to think what else.
If he's healthy, then maybe he can make another contract at that big. But at 30 years old, running back, he's already been hurt. You never know how he's going to be.
Yeah, but again, I was telling Tom and I was telling you guys last week. It's one of those things where with Le'Veon Bell, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because
exactly.
On the bright side, he's still young. He's still young. Hasn't played in a year.
Yeah.
So he's healthy. He's ready to go. But on the downside, he also hasn't played in a year.
Exactly.
So
as Tom says, he's a crumb.
But leading to our poll question before we really kick it off, will the Browns win the AFC North?
I say yes. I think hell yes, because you think of what that whole conference right now, and with how Pittsburgh lost everybody pretty much. They lost AB, they lost Le'Veon Bell. Their defense was never strong to begin with. James Conner is good, but is he gonna have another great second year starting?
Yeah, that's true.
No one knows. Juju is phenomenal, but you go and get Eli Rogers in our contract, but there's no other big guy that they have that can spread the field like Antonio Brown can. You have Antonio Brown and Juju. That's the best two combo I think in the league.
Now and at the same time, you're wondering how much that actually will affect Juju next season.
Yeah, and now with the Cleveland Browns having, they have Baker, Odell, Jarvis, David Njoku, Jude Johnson, Nick Chubb, and Hunt. At the end of the year, there's just there's no better offense other than the Browns.
Right.
Unless Baker, does horrible. That's not going to happen. It's Baker.
Right.
Now
again, he can also have a slump. But
of course.
With these weapons,
if you do that bad, you shouldn't be quarterback.
There's no question. And obviously me being – and I texted you about this earlier in the week when the Odell trade happened. Like, I got my LSU guys back.
Yeah, exactly.
My LSU guys
You
are
had
back
the
together.
duo once again.
Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. But what I think the crucial thing is for them, being the Browns, is you're going to have Kareem Hunt coming right in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
So you're just going to be running Nick Chubb most of the time.
And knowing Goodell will probably cut down to 4 games, so or even 6 games. You never know. Knowing them 2 guys.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you have Kareem Hunt coming back week 9 after the first 8 weeks, but at it just creates a whole new dimension, like with that offense.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, David Njoku.
And even their defense got better too now.
Oh, their defense.
Their defensive line is probably as top notch as the Eagles are now. To be
Olivier
honest.
Vernon, all those guys. Yeah,
there's no other defense that's close. I mean, like you have Denzel Ward was a stud last year at cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
You still got the big guy, Miles Garrett. You add big guys in their D line.
Right.
I mean, it's just the only team that I see that will compete with them will be the Ravens, as of right now.
Yeah, but I disagree with that just because of all of the pieces on defense that they lost.
Well, yeah, they lost a huge amount of pieces. They lost basically their whole linebacking core. They lost, one
of their star defensive linemen.
Yeah.
It depending on, I think it really depends on where Pittsburgh's at.
Oh yeah,
that's the.
I mean,
thing.
Colin Cowherd thinks they're gonna win, and now I'm like, you're just absolutely out of your damn mind.
Well, until what do you call it? Yeah, I mean, most of the time, or history's shown, it goes through Pittsburgh. The division goes through Pittsburgh.
Exactly. Well, because they've always had a team around them. Now they just don't really have the team there. They lost their main pieces.
No, I get that, but at the same time, this is one of the top tier franchises.
Oh yeah,
in the league, and they're just getting over something that we've never seen them go through.
Mm-hmm.
With 2 years ago, with the whole Le'Veon Bell thing starting, with him sitting out, and wanting more money, and then Antonio Brown, and then people are blaming Ben, people are taking sides, Antonio Brown, Ben, whatever. But I think it really depends on how they respond to the whole.
Yeah, see how they do.
Well, yeah, that's the big part of it.
You don't know Juju's ready to go, but I think see how Big Ben's gonna play out, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's the big crucial part. As long as he doesn't throw dumb interceptions in the end zone like he did in the Broncos game, but
other than that, I mean,
they'll don't get me wrong, they'll be good.
Oh yeah,
but they're not.
Without a doubt, they'll be good.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
I just don't see them being the whole, down your throat offense and one of the best teams in the league.
Right.
They're not going to be that same in Pittsburgh.
Oh, no. All right, let's go to the family real quick. Ralph Del Vecchio, my guys. What's up, Ralph? Rob Lutman. Yo, let's go. Bring it. What's up, Rob? Bill Middlebrook. Damn, they could go all the way. 2 stud wideouts, Chubbs, Hunt, after a week, decent D, Mayfield ain't no joke. No, I agree.
Yeah, no.
Now, it just depends on how he does in his second year.
Yeah, because now he has the pieces to do it. It's just now, is he going to be able to play that well with the pieces he has?
And that I think is going to be the crucial point for it.
Exactly.
Brian Beatty, what's up, fellas? What's up, Brian? Easy Andy, the Browns have some big egos. I will... the new coach be able to. I mean,
see, Baker had a big ego too, but he's seemed to kind of calm it down during the year.
Well, see, the thing is with Baker, and I love Baker for it. He talks a big game, but he also backs it up at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting point that Andy brings into the conversation, because I was talking to my other coworker about this as well. He's like, "Oh, they're not making the playoffs." I'm like, "Look at their roster. What are you talking about?" There's too many. There's too many big heads. There's too many egos. No. Well, which is an interesting point, but I think again, and I've had this philosophy forever. Winning cures a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I mean, even winning their first game of the year last year, you just saw the momentum they had, and their body language was just a whole new team.
Oh yeah,
you could just see it. I mean, Hugh Jackson, did bad for him, all that, but I mean, new coach, if they get that momentum of having to want to win, they win the game, and they know how it feels again. They start like, okay, well, this is great. Just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the pieces to do it. I mean, Odell has he has an attitude, but like, with him having Landry there and all that, I mean, the biggest piece that had the biggest mouth would be Baker, but Baker was pretty calm, I think, in the NFL compared to college.
Oh no, I agree, but all right, right, moving forward, who do you think, aside from the Browns, who do you think made the biggest move in free agency?
Oakland.
Oakland?
Oakland with getting Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams,
Trent Brown.
They added so many pieces to that team. After everything John Gruden was looking so bad, John Gruden looks like a god.
Yeah.
I mean, he added so many pieces, and now he has 3 first-round picks.
Right.
Like, he can go draft the biggest cousin out there and then have the pieces he has now, and it's just like they're just going to be phenomenal, I think. I mean, they're going to be a shock to the AFC West, in my opinion. I mean, the Chiefs are going to be so good, but now with Tyreek Hill with his issues, I mean, you're losing your big wide receiver. Sammy Watkins isn't the same guy as he was 3 years ago.
Right.
I mean,
how much of a suspension are you going to get for breaking your 3-year-old's
that's
arm?
That's the thing.
That's
Who knows?
the question.
I don't know.
Good.
I mean, it could be an AP thing where he takes out for almost a year,
right?
And they threaten him that way, or it could be where, oh well, maybe it was an accident, and then they won't do anything at all. But that's the thing. Who knows?
But Tom and a couple of the guys that I went to the Sixers game with last night, we were talking about that thing because it broke literally when we walked in the door.
Yeah.
And me, Ralph, Ryan, Brodo, and just Greg and everyone else. It creates like just kind of trying to think of the word that I'm looking for. Just like you come from the AFC Championship game last year, and now this hits you.
Yeah.
Because this is a huge blow to your offense.
Oh, yeah. First of all, with Kareem Hunt and then now Hill. Because you saw, I mean, Hunt was phenomenal for them. I mean, they lost him. And you saw the difference of how they played. I mean, yeah, they still played well with Spencer Ware and all of them, but they're not an every down running back. They're not an all-star running back. Kareem Hunt isn't an all-star running back.
Right. No, but again, I think it leads to the direction, and I know a couple of the guys on other shows and whatever were like, we need a bell cow back, and we need him for 3 downs, need him 20, 25 touches a game. That's not really how the league's going anymore, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true, too. A lot of teams have feedbacks. The San Fran got Tevin Coleman.
Right.
They now got Matt Breida, McKinnon, and Tevin Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland got 3 running backs. We have 3 running backs.
Well, 2
most
now.
Most of the time, yeah.
We have 2
As of right now, I mean, ever since we've won the Super Bowl, teams are now going off of the running back formation where they give them not as many carries and they see how well that actually works.
Right. Well,
didn't we see the value? Like, hasn't the market told us the value?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On, like, what guys are getting paid to? Like, Le'Veon wanted all this money, and the market told you, like, yo, like, you're not worth as much as you think you are because we're just not giving running backs that kind of money. People don't want to see it out there. These people are stuck in 1980. Yeah. You throw to win in this goddamn league. It's got to be a 60-40 ratio. Mm-hmm. And anybody that doesn't see it that way, go buy yourself a quote. That's all I have to say.
No, I do agree, though.
Yeah, and it's the way the league's going. And I'm trying to remember the last time a team with like an actual proven 3-down star running back actually won a Super Bowl. You had Todd Gurley in the Super Bowl last year, but that did.
That one.
Yeah,
that was a fucking joke.
But again, like I said earlier, the league's changing. League changes all the time. You need multiple running backs in an offense, and that also leads to my next point. As far as running backs go, what do you think Howie Roseman has planned?
See, I think Howie's going to go after either a running back, no doubt. It's going to be who and how much money he's going to offer somebody. I mean, I think he overpaid Darby, in my opinion. But, I mean,
well, it depends on the guaranteed money, too, though.
That's true, too. But I think it's going to be the next thing going to be is who they're going to go after another, wide receiver next. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, we do have Jackson, Aguilar, and Alshon.
Right.
But is Mac Hollins going to be healthy? We lose Mike Wallace. We lost Golden Tate. That's 2 guys right there. I mean.
Yeah, but was Golden Tate really that big of a loss, though?
I mean, not really. It seemed like it would, but not really. I mean, he went to a team that he wanted to win with. The Giants he won the money. That's all I cared about.
And you saw in his Instagram post, show me the money.
Exactly. I mean, there's a bunch of guys out there that we can go after and grab.
Oh yeah.
But I don't really. We have a great top 3 guys now, but I think we still need another 4 guys because is Mac Hollins going to be ready to play full time? I mean, Gibson. Okay, he did good in preseason, but you don't know how he'll be in the season. He didn't want to play all last year.
Right. And you saw that. But
yeah, exactly.
I think the big thing is right now, I think what Howie's doing, and I I hyped you up for this.
Oh my God, yeah.
With Howie clearing up all this cap space and draft coming up, and obviously $7 million of that goes towards rookies and whatever.
Yeah.
But what I think he's doing, they're gonna trade for a running back now, whether it be Jordan Howard,
without doubt, yeah.
Running back out of San Francisco. We're hearing reports that they're.
I hope it's Matt Breida. I don't want Jeremy McKinnon. I don't want him.
Yeah, but how I see it going right now is that they bring in a running back from free agency or make a trade or possibly even sign J.J. for one more year. Just he has a little tread left on the tires. I know he has no knees, but it's just
1 year won't kill him.
No, I don't think so either. But I think the big thing right now, as far as how I'm making cap space and as far as moving forward with all the contract restructures and whatever that he's done, he wants to re-sign Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
That I think is
either going
to
be this year or next year, or even in the middle of the year, because they're gonna want him for obviously a long run.
No, but what I'm saying, he wants to re-sign him right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do that right now.
Well, here's why I would do it, and I'll tell you why. Right now, okay, so just picture this: offense on paper looks
fun,
looks delicious. As far as as far as passing the ball, we'll get a running back. That I'm not worried about.
Yeah, draft somewhere, it don't really matter. Somebody will have him.
But right now, on paper, Carson Wentz can throw 40+ touchdowns.
Oh hell yeah!
And you guys can book me. Guys can quote me on it, whatever. But how this offense looks right now, Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, Dallas Goedert, Nelson Aguilar, they're so, and bringing Desean Jackson back. They're
he
so
has that deep threat kind of.
Well, right now the field's wide open.
Oh yeah.
It opens up bringing Deshaun back is a huge part of it. It opens up the run game. Opens up Nelson across the middle. I just don't see.
We now have the guy that we always wanted in Mike Wallace last year before he got hurt.
Right.
Yeah, and even better, to be honest, because Jackson's better speed, he's better hands, everything. And now you have Aguilar back in the slot where he was phenomenal at 2 years ago. You get the field spread out. It's gonna be a whole new Aguilar year 3 over again, to be honest.
Yeah. Jason Bennett also says in the comments, "Why is there a Tom Brady jersey hanging on the wall?" Every show, somebody has to ask it.
Well, that's probably because he's a goat no matter what.
He's the goat.
You can hate him all you want, but he's still.
But he's the goat.
I mean, shit, I hate him, but I mean, he's still a goat.
Bill Middlebrook also says, "Why do you guys think the Eagles didn't grab Coleman or $5 million a year?" Just curious in your guys' opinion. I mean, my only issue with us not getting Tevin Coleman, or the reason that we didn't get him, I should say, the big part of it was, I think, because how he likes to be patient. We've seen it throughout the draft. We've seen it throughout free agency. He's very patient. But again, at the same time, Howie also has a plan.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Howie also
Coleman
has a plan.
wasn't in his plan, to be honest.
It may not have been, but it would have been a really, really nice piece.
But I think that Coleman went more for, he went back to his old code with Kyle Shanahan, and he had what he knew was staying for him.
Right.
Let's see.
But let's go over to the Giants. We'll come back to the Eagles in a minute. What is Dave Gettleman doing?
I think, well, as he says, just wait and see. But I mean, you're still paying Eli Manning, butt ton of money, and you lost your best player in the entire team other than Saquon Barkley.
Right.
I mean, you trade away Oliver Vernon. There's your best D lineman there. I mean, you don't have anybody else. I mean, I said, give us, Saquon Barkley shit. Oh my God.
Well, the thing.
I would cry.
Well, we saw it with the Detroit Lions years ago. You cannot build a team around a running back.
No.
They tried to do it with Barry, and you saw how that worked out.
Exactly.
He's one of the best ever.
But other than that, you just can't put your whole workload on a running back. Look at even Dallas with DeMarco Murray. I mean, they gave him so many touches. He was so good. He went to us. He was so overly tired. He wasn't used right either. But I mean,
I was just gonna say, Chip didn't know how to use him.
You can't overrun a running back because you use him too much. He's just gonna get tired, hurt at a young age.
Well, here's the thing. And I can guarantee you some people in the family are going to give me shit for this. But anyway, running backs are really disposable.
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
You don't, like, obviously you have your Saquon Barkleys, Ezekiel Elliott, whatever. But running backs are more common to find than like a top-tier corner
or even a quarterback.
Well, quarterback's one of the rarest ones out of the bunch.
Well, Brian, you're adding an aging wideout in the middle of a rebuild. Who's best in the slot? I mean, Shepard is. I mean, he's a phenomenal guy. Even though he's young and all that. But I mean, they got Golden Tate. You're basically adding
two slot guys.
Yeah, and that's not gonna help out. I mean, they're gonna probably. I mean, they might go out there and draft DK Metcalf because now they don't want Dwayne Haskins apparently, which I don't understand why. I mean, unless they want another QB, but I mean, they may go after a wideout with their top 10 pick there they have. I mean, they might as well if they get rid of Beckham. I mean, they need somebody.
Well, like Dave Gettleman said, he's like, we have a plan.
Oh yeah.
Now it depends on. What do you call it? Depending on the draft and how they do in the next 2 years. What I think they want to do, they either want to save up for next year's draft and draft either like Tua or.
See, I'm not huge on Tua. I mean, like
I'm not either.
For one, he's left-handed. I mean, no one's good other than Steve Young, in my opinion, left-handed quarterback.
Mike Vick.
Okay, my bad. I mean, but like he's plays for Alabama. They play no-name school pretty much most of the time during the year.
Right.
Alabama is Alabama. I mean, you can. There's no player. Alabama is always so great in college, but nobody good comes out of Alabama.
That gets
like that's the weird thing. Like I mean, defense, okay, yeah, and like Julio Jones, all that, but like, what QB have you seen come out of Alabama and kill it?
No, that's a fair point, and you could say the same thing about their O-line prospects. And
yeah, exactly.
Well, also with Alabama, their linemen are typically smaller compared to a lot
normal guys. Yeah, it's always their defense. Their defense is always like an NFL grade defense. Other than that, they don't. Really, their team is good, but they don't do good in the NFL.
Right.
Like running backs they're phenomenal, and then they're a bust.
Right. Well,
so
and that's why I'm kind of shaky of drafting Josh Jacobs. I know a lot of people at A2D want Josh Jacobs.
I mean. There's a lot of other good running backs in the draft.
No, there is a lot of good ones, but there's not one that can bring as much to the table as Josh Jacobs.
I wouldn't mind it, but my thing is, do you take the chance and waste a first-round pick on Josh Jacobs? That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing, too, though, because you have to remember, Eagles, as far as I can remember, I don't think they've ever drafted a running back in the first round.
No, Westbrook was round 2. McCoy was round 2.
And then Wilbert Montgomery was the 6th round if you want to go back far.
Yeah.
And they were they're franchise guys.
Yeah.
So, as far as, like I said, disposable position, you can go almost anywhere. And you can find value even in the later rounds.
Yeah.
But going back to the family real quick, Tyler Genevis Darby shouldn't have gotten paid that much, just a waste of time.
Yeah, see, I agree with Tyler because I think $8 million. I mean, I don't really even want Darby back to begin with.
Right.
Like, I mean, like I don't mind it. I mean, I'm getting wrong, but like we don't necessarily need Darby. And then our cap room isn't very high, and then you're gonna pay him $8 million. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing?
Right. Well,
like,
see, my thing is like, if you brought him back, what does that say about the confidence in your secondary? That's what that says.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
me.
But it's like. You saw how they played last year in the playoffs. They were all hurt. They got young guys, playing up. Douglas, Maddox, and even LeBlanc. I mean, they were doing pretty damn good, to be honest, in my opinion.
Right. Bill Mitterbrook also said, "I have a funny feeling that Nelson is going to still be traded for Fournette. We got a slot in the draft. Get a slot in the draft. Nelson and Foles have chemistry, but we need." We need the Fournette blah, blah. From 17. I mean, here's my thing. I love Leonard Fournette. I loved him when he was at LSU.
Yeah, but I mean, I was always like, I thought he was, in my opinion, almost overhyped a little bit.
Don't talk about my son like that.
I know it's coming. But I mean, like, he was phenomenal. He was really good in college. And then his first year in the league, he was an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong on that, but, second year he got hurt. And the issue with the pushing on the field, he got suspended. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be the guy that you have. I don't know if you waste something in trades for him as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind it at the same time.
For Fournette?
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm good.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I'm not all for trading too much and getting Fournette.
For a guy who's proven to be banged up.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot.
Exactly.
And not just like once in a while. I mean, a lot.
Right.
And like Jake's point, Yeah, they haven't drafted a running back in the first round. I can't even tell you how long.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean shit.
No.
And he's right. I mean, there's value in the second, third, fourth.
Yeah.
If you know how to draft it right and you know how to evaluate the position the right way, you can get any position you want in the draft if you know how to evaluate. The problem I think we all have is, how well do they evaluate it? Right. Now, I understand, I don't get up in arms like the rest of the people do out there. Like, relax. They'll figure it out. They'll handle it like they did 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Last year, they thought they had it handled internally, and injuries took it the other way. But they're going to figure it out. I really believe they're going to draft somebody, and I believe that they're going to use around June to try to find some of them guys, some of them vets on the scrap heap. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to come in with the same backs. I think everybody can just relax on that. Yeah. I think that's what everybody's concern is. Besides Le'Veon and who the hell else was out there?
Tevin Coleman.
Exactly. Besides Le'Veon and maybe Mark Ingram, they're just a bunch of guys.
And Ingram I would never want him to be honest. Not for he was great. He was always injury prone. He was never going to be a guy that would be out playing every single day. He's getting older as well. He's not so. That's why I was surprised that even the Ravens even went after him and got him, to be honest, because he's getting older.
I mean, I'm not really. I shouldn't say I'm too surprised that they got him after the whole Alex Collins, after them cutting Alex Collins. Mm-hmm. But like you said, he's older, but at the same time, he doesn't have as many touches either.
That's true too.
He had Alvin
Kamara, yeah. Now with them, our offense with Lamar Jackson, it'll be more a run-pass offense. They'll have the running with the quarterback, run the running back.
Right. See, I like it,
but they don't like it.
But I don't like it. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a weird house when all playing out with them because they're gonna weird. They have no wideouts really now because they cut him Crabtree.
Mm-hmm. John Brown walked.
John Brown's gone. They have nobody.
And that's going to be the interesting part because with Lamar Jackson being only in his second year, who showed promise, but at the same time, I want to see a guy who's also mobile, but can also just bomb it.
You want someone like Vic or even like Wentz. He's mobile.
Right.
So I mean,
well, and I was a huge fan of him in college anyway.
Yeah.
But I think again, he's still young. He has a lot. He has a lot to work on.
He can get bigger. Here you go. Like Tyler says here, give me Howard. There you go.
I mean,
he doesn't catch the ball.
Yeah.
So I mean, give me Howard. Sure, I'll take Jordan Howard too. But again, doesn't catch the football. So I think some of our fan base doesn't even know what kind of fucking offense we run. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you got to have running backs who catch the ball out of the backfield in the West Coast offense. Because if you don't, then you just got a guy who you're going to despise. Okay?
Right.
And if you're going to pay Jordan Howard or you're going to back up draft pick brink trucks for a guy like Jordan Howard, okay? For what? To use him like LeGarrette Blount?
Yeah,
so you're gonna use him for 10, 12 touches a game? No, I'm not going and giving up a second or a third to go use a guy for 8 touches because he can't catch the ball in the backfield.
Well,
no.
I would have Isaiah Crowell. Crowell can catch. He had a lot of receiving yards last year. He had better stats than Howard has the past 2 years. I mean, Crowell has the speed to catch. He can run hard if you have to have him run hard. Mm-hmm. He's that all-around running back that you would want.
Well, he has the speed, which we want that nowadays. So I mean, I would love to have Crowell over Howard. Because if you get Howard, you got to trade, but trade what? And you got to pay him. Pay him what? You know what I mean? Exactly. Well, he doesn't really have much room to be commanding.
Yeah, sure.
High price.
Howard, in my opinion, he fell off a lot last year because Cohen came in. He took over the entire show.
Oh yeah, and you could see throughout the season last year too. They were getting away from Jordan Howard.
Yeah, he killed me in fantasy. Yeah, thanks Howard.
Yeah. No, but like I said, the season went on. They already had their playoff spot basically.
Oh yeah, they locked in.
You saw him a little more, but at the same time, you have that Swiss Army knife in Tyreek Cohen.
Yeah, he's just like one game he'll blow up. Then okay, well Howard, you're benched.
Right.
Like you get maybe 3 carries the entire game.
Right.
You don't want that.
And like I was saying earlier, Eagles were talking to Chicago about possibly getting Jordan Howard. Mm-hmm. Him and Joe Douglas have that connection because Joe Douglas drafted him. Mm-hmm. So I could see. Yeah.
Yeah, he drafted him.
Joe Douglas was the GM when he drafted Jordan Howard.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did I thought he come from? Why did I thought he came right from Baltimore?
He was in Baltimore for a while, and
Then he went to Chicago?
He went to Chicago
Yeah.
for a year or maybe 2 years.
Before he came here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he even went to Chicago. So
Yeah.
that's why they're.
I thought
it's-
Jordan Howard, yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
everybody
back-
on Twitter, ties him at the hip. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
It makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
Crumbs.
No, but well, the bigger point is too. You have to remember, the Eagles are giving a little more control to Joe Douglas as far as the
Which I think
draft
is
goes.
good now because Howie's a phenomenal GM and all that, but you saw how he is with the draft.
Yeah,
I mean, he's good with signing guys, but draft, he's iffy.
especially with running backs.
God, yeah.
And Tom and I talked about that a while
Give me
ago.
Smallwood
that
and freaking, what's his name? Yeah, exactly. There he goes. Oh, man. Howard, he's a guy.
Yeah. Put that on the page real quick.
Yeah,
But,
right, seriously. Tom Arnone, next round back for the Eagles.
Oh my God, he just falls over. No, but talk about that going viral. Whew. But
Yeah, seriously.
no, but I think what the Eagles are trying to do now, and you can see it with as far as bringing in new coaches, Joe Douglas's guy, or Joe Douglas, Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz brought in the guy from Miami who he used to work with in Detroit.
I think that was huge.
Well, the thing is, I think, aside from these signings, a lot of fans and whatever, like, oh, why are you bringing in this guy? Why are you bringing in, what's his name? The quarterback that we had. What's his name? He's an assistant now. I forget his name.
What's his name? DJ Kinney?
Yeah, DJ Kinney. I think I forget what he is. He's like an assistant.
Assistant QB or wide receiver, I
I
want to say.
forget.
One of
But
those two.
I think what they're getting ready for, the Eagles are getting ready for, they're getting ready for Jim Schwartz to go.
Yeah, sadly, yeah.
Because if he has another phenomenal year, which based on how this defense or this D-line specifically looks on paper,
Malik Jackson.
and then
Jesus.
we're most likely going to draft either an end or
Yeah.
someone in the first, a D-lineman in the first round.
See, I would want that, but then at the same time, I don't know, because we have Burnett, we have
Right.
Malik Jackson, Cox, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat. Chris Long still somewhat. I don't know what he's doing. He's still on the team, but he may not come back.
I think the big part of that is if we draft a defensive end in the first round.
Yeah, because that seems like
Because we still need a actual solid backup.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I see them going D tackle in the first round.
Yeah, I'm fine D tackle. I don't want D end though. Because you got Josh Sweat, you still got Burnett. You mean we still have Long? I think Long had his best year of his career last year, to be honest.
Well, he compared to when he was with the Rams, yeah.
Oh yeah,
But-
exactly.
But like I was saying, Jim Schwartz with the guys that he has on paper right now, the Eagles are getting ready for possibly him to go. That's why That's why the Eagles brought Jim's guy in. They have,
They
have a similar defensive philosophy, so the defense won't change. It won't affect anything with them going forward. But I think they're getting ready because if we go on another run this year, which I think we definitely will,
Oh yeah, definitely.
hypothetically, we get to the NFC Championship game, or say we're 13-3,
13-3.
14-2, you're going to see a lot of coaches leave.
Oh yeah, because like Super Bowl, we lost two guys on the back. We lost Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't do so well in Minnesota, but I mean,
Frank Reich's doing pretty well for
oh
himself
hell
right
yeah.
now. Him and that playoff beard that he had, I'm kind of jealous because I can't grow anything. But anyway.
It's all right. Maybe one day. I'll get some of mine, right?
Yeah, okay. Appreciate it.
I got you.
Locks of love. Just
Lots of love.
locks of love. But I've been neglecting the family on
Here,
YouTube.
like Bill says,
Bill
Duke
says.
Johnson can catch. I mean, he'd be a great guy to get, but he'd be more like a Clement 2.0, but he's better. Like, you can't have Duke Johnson running balls until you. I mean, he'd be good for having that 1-2 punch like having Coleman, but you don't. If you want a number one running back, you can't have Duke Johnson be your guy.
Well, plus, the thing is with Duke Johnson, he doesn't have that many touches.
Yeah.
And he's only, I think he's only 26.
Yeah, he was drafted young, I want to say.
He was drafted relatively young. He's only 26. It depends on what they want for him.
Yeah.
Because in reality, we all know they don't need him over in
no.
Cleveland
They got
with
Nick
what
Chubb
they got
and
right now.
Yeah, no. And maybe I would love to have Duke Johnson. Don't get me wrong, but I mean I don't want them to say, okay, we got Duke, we're fine. No, that's not gonna happen. I can't do it.
But let's go to the family real quick. Zoe Walsh says hello on YouTube. What's up, Zoe? David Rosca says, what's up? What's up, Dave? Jacob Blos, I think I said that correctly. Give me Matt Breida and Benny Snell Jr.
I would love Benny.
Here,
oh, man.
Here's the thing.
I'll take that.
You and fucking Ralph.
Hey. Ralph has good taste when he wants to have good taste. Right?
No, but here's
That's
the
how
thing.
I see it.
Here's the thing. You saw his combine, right?
Oh, yeah, I did.
40 time wasn't that great.
No, it was not. So, I mean, right there, I will say that. But, I mean, see, my thing with, I mean, he's, I don't know, like, the way we were with, I wouldn't mind Miles Sanders, to be honest, because his comment was phenomenal.
I was just going to bring him up,
like,
too, actually.
we were, like, phenomenal with him.
Right. But at the, I would like to get Miles Sanders or I think it's Justin Hill or Justice Hill.
I think it's Justice Hill, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't mind Justice Hill either. Or even that running back out of Texas A&M. What the hell's his name?
Oh God, the big dude.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind him either. But there's so many different ways that the Eagles can go and attack this draft. Obviously, aside from the first round.
Yeah. Depending on if they go D-line first, if they pull Howie, and they go best. I like that, but I don't have the best guy available because at the same time, sometimes that best guy you don't really need. Like I wouldn't mind getting D-line because D-line this entire that is stacked.
You can't not.
You just cannot get one.
Right.
But I don't think you should waste. Like I mean, we might even need O-line help too, as depth.
Well, that'll happen, and that's gonna bring me my next point. But continue.
I mean, I don't even mind getting a wide receiver in the first round, in my opinion. I mean,
really?
I'm sorry, but DK Metcalf is there. If that pick,
I don't trust it.
I would love.
I don't trust
guy.
it. Now, don't get me wrong. Physically, he's a monster.
Like he's the next Julio Jones, in my opinion.
Oh no, I can't go that far. He can't run routes.
Yeah,
he can run routes. Look, he can run routes.
Odell Beckham, he can't run routes.
Oh, he can. Please, that dude can count on a dime. Are you kidding me? Give him on a bench route. He runs the bench route just like it's drawn up on the chalkboard.
One-handed snag.
No, but to my next point that you were talking about with the Eagles going O-line, I think the Eagles also re-signing Jason Peters, which everyone's shaky about.
We knew what's going to happen. We knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think what it is, I think it's really just security. And what I mean by security, we saw the reports earlier in, I think it was about like 3 weeks ago about that. Jordan Mailata, drafted last year in the 7th round.
Oh, the GOAT, dude. I love that guy.
Big as hell, 6 foot. I think he's like 6'5", 300-something pounds. He's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
A guy from Australia who's never played the game before.
And who shockingly did very, very well.
He did very well, and I was very high on him when we got him. But there was he was talking to an ESPN reporter, I think, a couple weeks ago, and he was saying there were times where Peters would check himself out of games or whatever. I'm obviously ad-libbing, but the Eagles see a lot of potential in him, as do I, with his size and that frame, and and when you have the best offensive line coach in football in Jeff Stoutland.
Yeah, and you have a Hall of Famer like Peters that helped train him.
That's what I'm saying, and I think the Eagles really look at him. I'm not going to say as the second coming of Jason Peters, but somewhere along that, like somewhere in that tier.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I think he can do it.
Oh yeah,
like obviously there's like footwork and stuff.
You give him
their
year. That's why I think with him getting Peters back here, you have Peters help train him for when he does officially retire next year.
Right.
Once he retires, you don't want to draft. You have him. You know, you're fine. That's why I was kind of surprised that we let go with Newski, to be honest. I wasn't he's good as a backup.
Yeah,
I was a little surprised in my opinion.
Yeah, but guard isn't really a tough position to fill compared to like a tackle or an actual solid center.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd like to see them go O-line just to get younger at the position, but we also have like a lot of young guys also waiting in the wings, and like Matt Pryor out of TCU, who I like a lot, who can play either guard or tackle. But I don't really. I'm trying to think of the word. I don't consider O-line a priority, and what I mean by that, as far as the draft goes, at least this year, I don't consider it a big priority, at least this year. I mean,
I agree.
we're going to get one,
Oh yeah.
whether it be
See, I was never huge on ever getting an O-line for. I mean, we got Lane Johnson in the first round,
right.
but I mean, if I had a chance, if I was a GM, if we seriously needed an O-line and we had a top 10 pick, okay, hell yeah, go for it.
Right.
But if you have guys that are out there that we need more of, I don't say you go after an O-lineman.
Well, I think the big need that we would have is either I'm not going to worry about offensive tackle because I have enough confidence and trust in Jordan Mailata that they'll get that figured out. But I think the big thing is, at least as far as needs go on the offensive line, it's going to be either center or guard.
Because
that's
Kelsey got extension, but I think we need another center as a backup.
Yeah.
For when he does, retire.
Eventually retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it might not be this year, but
Yeah.
within like the next, I'd
Couple
say like
years.
2 years. Yeah.
I agree.
Because I think his contract's still 2021. I think.
I think so. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to draft one either. I would say by next year. I would draft him next year. That's what I would do.
I would say next year because we got him to for another 2 years. I mean, if he was almost retiring if he was retired this year, then I would go say, hey, go center this year. But I mean, him staying, I wait 2 years. I mean, lineman we can even get in the third, fourth round. Look at Seamalo. He was drafted in with the fourth round.
Mm-hmm. No, he was.
Or third round.
I think he was a third.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he was a third. Crossing guard Ken's in the house. What's up, Ken? But I mean, again, O-line right now isn't, in my opinion, one of our biggest needs.
Yeah.
I think how we're going to do it, it's going to be D tackle in the first round, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a running back in like the second or third.
Yeah, I would want one in the at least top 3 rounds. Because, I mean, you could get a top running back even in the 5th or 6th round.
Right.
But you don't want to test it and then him becoming a bust. Because look at what's his name, Pumphrey. Oh my God, he had the biggest, most yards in college history.
How about this order, right? And actually, screw the order. I'm just going to give you guys positions, and does it matter when it's drafted in the first 3 rounds, right?
Okay.
So, any defensive line help because the draft's loaded with D linemen,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Any offensive line help, draft's loaded with O linemen. We know this team's history, and we know what they feel the recipe for success is. So we can sort of gauge it. That's sort of the direction they're always going to go in drafts, both sides of the line. And then let's say running back and linebacker. Now tell me if you have an issue with anywhere in the first 4 rounds how they use them. As long as they're taking, we can all agree. So even if they went, and I know this isn't sexy to the masses. I get this, but if they went, I'm not gonna say they're gonna go offensive tackle. So let's say they went D tackle, okay, and then they went offensive tackle in the second round. And they're the 2 best players on their boards.
Right.
Would we, as a fan base, have an issue with that?
I think most fans would, in my opinion.
No.
With how they are.
Yeah, how they react and how they go about.
Yeah.
Because as us fans, we're panicking about running back right now. We haven't even got to a draft yet. We haven't even got to the guys getting cut off teams yet, right? We haven't even got to all the goods yet, and we haven't got to our GM, who's one of the biggest wheeler and dealers in the NFL.
Exactly.
So we haven't got to any of this yet. As fans sitting here in March, we're in panic mode over a running back position,
and the season doesn't start
and
for another 5 months.
Nothing's started yet. So that's sort of why I wanted to gauge you guys on that, because I felt like, Ty, you speak for the fans. Yeah, on that, yep. They're going to be like, nothing sexy. I'm pissed off. Blah, 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 blah. We drafted a 3rd round running back, or a 4th round running back because we went linebacker in the 3rd round. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
But to me, I know the recipe for success in this league, and you have to just go best available. You just have to, outside of certain positions. Outside of certain positions, you say, hey, we don't need this position this year. We got to go away from it. But you really just have to draft the best talent sitting there.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, if that 25 pick, I got to remember we didn't win the Super Bowl.
Right.
If that 25 pick is the best player on the board, hypothetically, is a wideout. I mean, you almost got to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I'd
just
find that, to be honest.
It's just the position you're in.
Oh, I agree. And you also see teams at the same time. They'll draft for need.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out, and then they're screwed.
Well, look at Howie. He got the best available. Got Barnett first round 2 years ago.
Right.
He the best available guy out there, but he look at him now. He's a stud. get him for a year to be top lineman in the league. I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't even want to have a linebacker in the top 2 rounds. If we don't go out and grab somebody between now and let's say the draft, I mean, there's probably veterans to be available. Even Clay Matthews still available. But I mean, I know
He's a 3-4 guy, though.
Yeah, that's true too. But I mean, I wouldn't even mind getting a linebacker in the top 3 rounds because we need one.
I agree with you as far as that goes, but we know how this franchise values running backs.
Oh yeah.
Like obviously you had your running backs back in the day, but it for whatever reason this or what do you call it? The franchise itself hasn't really shown to draft linebackers high.
Yeah. Well, Hicks was what? He was a 6th round. No, he's a 4th round pick, right?
Who?
Hicks. And look at him now. He was Texas
third,
4th round, yeah. And he was a 3rd, yeah. So I mean, Hicks was a huge linebacker. I mean, obviously he was injury problems. I mean, I'm glad he was gone. But I mean, like, if we need a linebacker, we can get one in the top 4 rounds easily.
Yeah, Jordan Hicks also stole the ski mask from last year and took it to Arizona.
Yeah, and got
robbed the Cardinals
and got overpaid.
He absolutely did.
But he pulled Sammy sleeves. I mean, he can overpay for getting hurt every damn year.
No, but here's the thing. Like, if he's able to stay healthy, and I know that's a tall order for Jordan Hicks.
Shit.
If he's able to stay healthy, he's one of the better linebackers in the league.
Totally agree. That's if you can stay without missing more than 5 games a year.
Right.
So, I mean.
But that also goes into – I was actually going to talk about the Cardinals. I'm happy I brought this up. But as far as Josh Rosen goes, do you think he's going to stay in Arizona?
No. I don't think so at all.
Where do you think he's going to go?
Giants.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I need the family's help for this because I never understood the hype with Josh Rosen.
See now, I think that Josh Rosen was a great QB in college, but I think his main issue was when he was about to get drafted, he was too high on himself. He got to the point where he was like, okay, I'm the best QB in this draft, blah, 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 blah. And then once it was the first 3 picks, when Sam Darnold was drafted and Baker, you just saw on his face with disgust.
Oh, I agree.
And he got pissed. Even when he got drafted, he was pissed because he didn't want to be on a bad team.
No.
He wanted to go to somewhere that was good. I get that. But, I mean, if you're a top-tier QB, you think you're the best, you want to turn around a franchise. Look at Baker. He got drafted by literally the worst team in the NFL in history probably. Okay, at the time.
At the time,
yeah. And, I mean, he wasn't like he said, yeah, I'm ready to turn around the Browns. He was ready for that role. Josh Rosen is not that kind of guy that will come into a team and say, okay, hey, I'm one of the Cardinals. I'm the new Browns. I'm ready to turn around. No, he wants to win now. And you saw how he played. He looked horrible last year.
Yeah, he did.
I don't get me wrong. He isn't really. I mean, he had Fitzgerald.
He has Christian Kirk.
Their O-line isn't very good, but still, you have David Johnson. You have Kirk. You have Fitzgerald. You have the team around you.
Right.
And you can't do anything. That scares me, in my opinion.
And it's a good point because what I looked at from that draft last year, it was as far obviously before the season started. How I had it: Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen was somewhere around my fifth or.
I was never huge on Sam Darnold only because I'm not huge on taking a freshman quarterback. I get it. He blew away Penn State that one game, and his draft stock went flying in the air.
Right. But
you don't take a freshman QB and expect him to start.
Well,
that.
Yeah. No, I get that. But see, what I'm trying to get to is the difference with Josh Rosen and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's a dog.
Oh, hell yeah.
Baker Mayfield will work till he.
Baker gives no shits. He will fight for what he
No,
has to do.
and he has that attitude and he has that confidence. Josh Rosen, he's very. What's the word I'm looking for? He's very
soft, Jake.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yeah.
Soft. I hope Charles is listening. I hope he does. From Birds of a Feather on Tuesday. That's one of his sons. At least my sons. My sons, when it comes to me putting a guy, well, not all of them, but not all of them, because the people start saying that Double was your son, Tom.
Right.
But my sons are going to pan out.
Yeah.
If I'm putting my name to something, like I put my name to Baker Mayfield, it's going to pan out. Right. I love the dudes that think every quarterback's going to be good. The dude is soft.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was a degenerate, late-night gambler, West Coast games, Pac-12, Okay, I know all about bad quarterbacks, and there's no bigger conference in all college sports that's softer than the Pac-12.
Oh yeah.
And it's not really a conference I go to get my quarterbacks. And I'm not a believer in that can never change. But let's be real. What did the guy do in college to overwhelm anybody?
Right.
Besides getting banged up.
Yeah.
He's almost as bad John Ross getting hurt running his 40. I mean, they should be twins.
Yeah,
exactly. He's so
and
soft.
now look at John Ross. He's nobody.
What do you think? Cliff Kingsbury's coming in and he's saying, listen, I'm not going to be tied to this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy knows him from college days.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be tied to this guy.
No.
I'm going to go get Kyler Murray and I'm going to carve it up. Because this guy's just not good enough.
I like Kyler Murray.
Do you do like Kyler Murray?
I do like Kyler Murray. Yeah.
I'm just not.
I think that I think he's too not tall because of his size. And with his hand was pretty big, and the way he looked at pro day, dude, my man was on point.
So you're trying to tell me size matters?
Okay, and this kind of thing, yeah, it does. I mean, but like you saw,
What they say about big hands?
They got big fingers. They got like Wilson with the small man. He got big hands. Drew Brees, small man. He got big hands.
Right.
I mean, Kyler Murray was close to both them guys. He has the speed. If he can play the way he played in college, I think he'd be okay. I mean, if he gets back to his old coordinator, Tom's about laughs like you're a joke.
No, not even about you. I was responding to the guy Tyler, and I said Josh Rosen should retire.
Oh, wait, hold on. What Tyler said here? I gotta see this stuff.
What did he say?
Okay. This is the first time I'm Tyler.
Can't put Baker and Rosen in the same category.
Well,
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
But
I won't put Josh Rosen with fucking Russell. Jamarcus Russell, that big old bust.
That's not even fair to Jamarcus Russell.
Right.
Like, that's not even fair to Jamarcus. I'm not saying it's because Jake's Mr. LSU sitting over on the chairs, but that's not fair to Jamarcus.
Right.
Shit.
Just
At least Jamarcus faked it like he could play.
Yeah.
And he got paid huge money.
Like, he had a huge arm, big boy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, faked it like he could play.
Right.
Like, at the college level.
Well, that's the big thing that I was going to that's the reason I'm not high on Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Because don't get me
why,
wrong,
the
he's
size
small.
matters.
Well, duh. But the issue that I have, Kyler Murray's talent, I'm not denying it. He has the arm strength, he's able to run, but his frame, he has a very narrow frame compared to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson's like
when Wilson came out in the draft, he was a grown man.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray still, I think he's still at that point.
See,
where
my thing is
he's filling
what
out.
came out about his attitude. If that's true, I'd be nervous.
What was the?
I heard
might
about
miss
that he doesn't like to in the film room. He doesn't watch a lot of film.
Oh, okay.
I heard about that. I was like, okay, if this is a true story, I don't want to take another one. I mean, there's not a ton of huge QBs in this draft, but there's better QBs than Kyler Murray. I mean, I like Kyler Murray, but there's QBs out there right now in the draft that are better than Kyler Murray.
That are coming out this year?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. The guy from Missouri. I mean, I don't like
Jake Locke?
Yeah, I don't like Dwayne Haskins at all.
No,
I think he's overhyped. I don't get why he'll be a top 10 pick. Hell no. I mean, just because he played at Ohio State, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's not a ton, but there's a few good QBs that I think would be better than Kyler Murray in the first pick. I mean, if you're a Cardinals and you want QB, trade Rosen and even get some. I mean, I would have traded him for freaking Tannehill. I mean, shit.
You're going that far. You're
oh
putting the
God,
Tannehill tag on him.
I would have taken Tannehill over
Really?
in a heartbeat, man. I don't understand why the Titans got him. I mean,
need a good backup.
I mean that, and because Merrick can't stay healthy. Too,
well, that's
so.
true too. Yeah.
But I mean, even okay, I'm a Penn State guy, but McSorley is not getting talked at all. I think 'cause he's too skinny.
Don't you start with
Hey,
the Trace
You saw that play. I changed their mind. That man threw an 80-yard bomb, and it was gorgeous.
I don't know.
I think if he got out of that whole little flea flicker motion stuff, I think he'd be fine. He'd be good in the 5th round as a backup.
I mean,
but he won't go out as starting quarterback.
No, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind if the Eagles picked him up. I wouldn't mind them picking him up as a backup.
Yeah, no.
But we also have what's his name coming back most likely. Quarterback, what's his name? Sudfeld.
Oh well, yeah, he'd be back no matter what.
Yeah, but I put him in the Kyler Murray category. I just don't see. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's had flashes where he's played well.
Yeah.
But you saw this year he struggled.
Well, James Franklin is a moron.
Well, I know that. I know that.
Because I swear to God, that one game against Ohio State we should have won. Why the hell would you run?
Oh, yeah, that made no sense.
4th and 20.
Yeah, that made no sense.
What are you doing? Oh, my God.
Well, remember, I told you guys last year, when Saquon was coming out in the draft, you're like, oh, we're going to be fine for a while. I'm like, no.
Yeah, Sanders, but then he went to the draft already. I was like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, so I don't know what you guys are going to do.
That gave me a headache.
I just All right, let's go to the YouTube comments because I've been neglecting the family on YouTube. David Rosca says Rams will get Clay Matthews. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad piece.
I mean, he hasn't been the same player I think he has been in a while.
No, I get that, but he doesn't necessarily have to be the guy over there either.
No, I do agree.
All right, so Cassius Cliff, fellas, what's happening? What's up, Cassius? I'll take Henderson from Memphis, Sanders from Penn State, or Williams from Texas A&M. That's who it was, Williams.
Yeah, Williams.
Forgot about
He'd be a good third pick, to be honest.
I mean, I like Henderson out of Memphis, too. Henderson out of Memphis I really
good.
like.
Underrated.
He's underrated, but you saw him at the Combine. He did well. Obviously, he's not the Combine hero that Sanders was, but he did very well.
Combine doesn't always give you, this is your main guy.
Well, that's the issue that I have with the Combine, because it doesn't – they try the best that they can to simulate actual in-game stuff, but you really can't.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
So, and that's why I have issues with quarterbacks of the Combine. If you're missing guys, you don't have anybody coming at you. You can just sit back, relax.
Exactly.
Just
I mean, it kind of shows people that, okay, well, I don't know if he'll be that good. It kind of shows coaches that, okay, yeah, this player is as good as they say he is. Mm-hmm. But if you're good and you do bad, you can't say, okay, well, he had a bad Combine. I'm not going to draft him that. No, you can't do that.
Well,
unless you're a quarterback.
Well, no, I get that. But as far as, I feel like a lot of us, me and you and a lot of people in particular, put way too much stock into 40s.
Yeah.
If you're an offensive player, if you're a running back, wide receiver, tight end, that's
40's
fine.
40's big, but I mean.
If you're a safety and a corner, okay. If you're, top tier linebackers, I get it. But if you're an offensive or defensive lineman, I don't necessarily pay attention to the 40s much.
I agree.
What I pay attention to for linemen, I pay attention to their verticals and the broad jumps, just because it shows that explosion that they have out of their hips. Now, again, you could make that same argument for the 40, but when do you see offensive and defensive linemen run down the field?
Exactly. That's the thing.
Right. Because a lot of the time, especially with offensive linemen, you just have to be stationary.
You don't really see
feet.
that at all. My thing is the O-line it shows that they can move if they have to. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it shows that, okay, wow, there's a big man that's fast. Holy crap. Okay, wow. They don't move that much on the field. They stay in the same spot and block somebody.
Right.
So O-line is not a big deal.
Cam Cutler on Facebook says, bro, WTF is this dude talking about? Did he just say he'd take Tannehill over Sorley?
Okay, I would take McStroh or Tannehill in a heartbeat.
No. Don't flip the script now. Don't flip the script.
What did I miss?
I brought McSorley and Tannehill. I said I would have traded Tannehill to the Cardinals for Rosen. I said, here, I'll give you Tannehill, give me Rosen for Miami. Because I would have taken, if I was the Cardinals, I would have taken Tannehill or Rosen any day. He's not the great QB you want, but he's better than Rosen.
He's never.
They're the same guy.
Yeah, he's never really been that guy though.
Yeah, he had maybe one good year, if that.
Yeah. I never understood your love for Ryan Tannehill. I never got it.
I think because the first year was my big thing.
That was first year.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Brian Beatty agreed. Game time speed and 40 is way different. As weird as that sounds, no, it makes sense.
Yeah,
because you have obviously the crowd, which plays a part in it, and you have that adrenaline and whatever, compared to the combine where you're just running.
Yeah, you just run as fast as you can, and proving your speed. Other than that, it's just okay, you can run fast.
Right, and when it's actual game day and you're laced up and whatever, you're playing for a game check too.
Yeah, and you're wearing pads. You're wearing your helmet. It's going to slow you down.
Yeah.
Unless you're Saquon Barkley, but
well, he's also just a genetic freak.
He has legs the size of my head.
Tyler Genevis also said on Facebook, listen, I don't care if you can run a 4.2 on a 40. If you're on defense, you're fast as shit. But Can't hit off the field.
Listen, I just want my guys football fast.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
get all up in the shorts and the tee. Are you football fast?
Right.
When the lights turn on, baby, and guys are coming at you to take your head off, and when your head's on a swivel, can you find a hole and clog it up, right? Can you tackle in the open field, right? I mean, there's things that I'll never be able to find out with shorts and a tee on.
Nope.
Right, until the game action comes and I find out how good are you tackle. Like we talk about it, why did we win the Super Bowl? Well, we didn't have the greatest secondary in the world 2 years ago, but we tackled in an open space, which limits the big play, which gets you off the field.
And this is exactly why I love Jalen Mills.
Yep, that's why I'm a Jalen guy too.
I'm
a heart and soul guy, and the fact that you're an LSU guy and you're not a Jalen guy, you're a problem.
Here's the thing.
You're a problem.
I like Mills.
Thank you.
You should love him. You should be one of the blowhards.
No, but he's not a corner, though. I don't see him as a corner. He's not a corner. If you put him at, I can guarantee.
Listen, I know he gets beat a lot, which is fine, and corners get beat a lot.
And in the red zone,
and maybe he gets beat a little bit too much. But to your point, Jake, in limited space where his physicality and stuff comes through, that's why he is a start corner because teams value the red zone more than they value. And I'm not saying I agree with that.
No,
more than they value 20-20. Now, listen, you're getting beat over the top and it's going 80 to the house.
Right.
Then you start having problems with guys.
I'm waiting for Tyler to say, hey, he sucks on a double move. I'm waiting for it. Here it comes.
Don't get me wrong.
He's not good at that because you saw
he's not a top-tier corner. He's serviceable.
Yeah.
In the red zone.
You saw the play with Julio when he stopped him on that. Twice.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That's huge.
And without that play, we probably don't win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So it's – there's a lot of pieces that go into it, obviously, but he's not a top-tier corner. We all know that.
Unless he works on his footwork, he is not top-tier.
No, but I think at his size, too, a lot of people expect him to be fast. But just given his size, he's just not like a top-tier. He's not he's an athlete, but he's he's not going to run like a 4.35 or something crazy like that.
No.
Now, I think at the same time, we're also a lot of the cornerback during – you'll notice it's going to be a huge competition in preseason, and I said that last year too, because people are going to be playing for jobs. You have Sidney Jones.
See, my thing is, me and you were high on Sidney Jones. We love that.
Oh, I still love him.
It just it sucks to me that this injury is killing him.
And that's my
because I feel like if we were to cut a cornerback on this team next year or this year, it's going to either be Sidney Jones or probably LeBlanc. I think Douglas proved his worth last year.
He absolutely did, and
I don't think he'll be going, but I think it'd be either Jones or LeBlanc.
I could see them moving Douglas to possibly the number 3 safety spot.
I'd be fine with that.
I would be absolutely fine with that.
Oh yeah,
because you've seen throughout the past 2 years, the guy's a ball hawk.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, with getting Darby back, he might not even play week 1.
Right.
He tore ACL.
You're not going to see him probably for like another 6 weeks.
And he's getting paid $8 million. See, this is my point. If he would have got paid 3-4, okay, I'm fine with that. But $8 million, that's a lot of money.
Well, I think that's the reason he came back here too, because when he went to visit Kansas City, he wasn't getting what
if I wanted to make
what he got what he got here. So
yeah,
I like Darby, but at the same time, injuries are a big part of it. Same thing with Jones. Injuries are a big part of it.
His first year, he fucking broke his foot.
Right.
And then now he got tore ACL. That's back-to-back years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he came back, but I mean, shit. I don't know.
But I think the big thing that a lot of people are missing too during our Super Bowl run, we didn't have fantastic corners.
No.
The big thing was our D-line, and they were getting pressure. You have a solid.
We even had backup linebackers until we had Steven Means in there.
Right.
Because Hicks.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you have a solid front 4 or 3, depending on your scheme, if you're constantly getting pressure to the quarterback, that makes any corner look good.
That's why Malik Jackson's a huge pickup. Because he's Tim Jerrigan times 2.
Ooh, you're going that far.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he's an absolute upgrade. You're right.
You saw how you play with. See, when they had Calais Campbell and him and Jacksonville, those two were the big 2 guys. Like they were their main guys on D-line.
Mm-hmm.
And then even with Denver was getting the ring, he was a big part of the D-line too.
Right.
And he's a big guy like Cox. You had 2 huge guys coming at you, and then you got Graham and Barnett that are strong powerhouses. That's scary.
Right.
You know.
I mean, I think what I'm really looking for this year, I'm looking for Derek Barnett to make a huge jump this year, just coming off his injury and that whole thing. And you know how high I was on him.
Oh, yeah.
It was, what do you call it? It was the year that it was the Sidney Jones draft, like we were talking about. And I told you, I'm like, the Eagles are either going to draft Reuben Foster or Derek Barnett. I know, thank God we got Derek Barnett. You're right. But I'm hoping he does well. I think he will, because I just don't think you break.
His injury was so early in the year, too, which helped him out.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the same time, too, I don't think a player like Derek Barnett, where you in college you break Reggie White's sack record. Now, I'm not going to say he's the second coming of Reggie White, which he's not, but you don't break a record that's been standing the test of time like that for that long,
and then not do as well in the NFL.
Right, and
it's not going to happen.
Right, I just don't. I don't know. Brian Beatty, Mills, an above-average tackler and above-average red zone guy. Top-tier corners are hard to come by. I'll take Mills every day, twice on Sunday. I get that.
Brian's 100% spot on, Brian.
Right.
Well said, sir. Well said. I mean, he's a smart guy.
Malik Jackson too now. So you got Malik Jackson, you got Cox, Graham, and Barnett. That's a scary D-line.
Mm-hmm. That's better than it was last year.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's 10 Jerican times, too.
Right.
Like people were saying, well, why wouldn't you keep Bennett if you're going to spend money on Malik Jackson? Malik Jackson's better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to break it to people, but he's better, and he's not Michael Bennett.
Yeah, he's not going to be
he's
like
not greedy or he's not cocky.
Yeah, like he's not going to come out and say, like, well, I know everybody's taking pay cuts there, but not me.
Yeah.
Wait, what? And then it's just like Howie Draw must have hit the floor.
Oh,
like, well, I guess
and
we're not.
You say that on live TV too. You're just like, oh yeah, I want to raise.
What was it? Good Morning Football? He said.
Yeah. I want to raise. I'd be like, what? You want to raise? See you.
This is how you're doing this?
Right.
That's why you got traded.
And that same day he was traded. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, they heard that.
That's not how they do business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you could have got restructured. They could have gave you some upfront money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like what nobody's talking about. I want to say this before we wrap.
Okay.
In like 10, but that nobody talks about that. They could be freeing up some of this extra money, which we just saw, like the extra $5 million here, and some of the money, and not going out and sign anybody else in free agency, and obviously having some money for the draft. But maybe give Carson his contract now.
I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, I said that earlier.
Did you say it earlier?
Yeah, because it
must have missed you.
And
my bad. Where the hell did I go? Is that when I did the?
No, it was like right at the beginning of the show.
Oh, I was doing so much. I had to set up the show after.
Excuses.
Oh my God! I set up the show after. It was a mess of it. You don't know. My hands were sweating.
He was out of it.
I couldn't even type. But I agree, Jake. Yeah. I agree. So to that point,
because look at it this way. Right now, Carson Wentz coming off the injury and another. I don't believe that it was an actual back injury. I think they were just trying to preserve him and just do what they could with Nick Foles for the rest of the season. But the thing is, Carson Wentz, and people have to take this into account too, that are against paying him this year and just wait. Why don't we wait till next year? His value right now is never going to be lower than what it is right now. Now, say he had say he has an MVP caliber season like he had 2 years ago.
Yeah,
you're going to have to pay him some serious money.
Yeah,
and knowing how he constructs contracts, pay a good portion of it up front, and then over those next like 5-6 years, however long the contract is, it gives you more room down the road to sign free agent players and bring in other pieces that'll help continue the push for constant championships and stuff like that. Now, if we wait, which I really don't want to do, I think that's going to hurt us long term.
Yeah, I do agree. But I don't know. I don't know if I see Howie doing it so soon. That's the only thing.
That's what I
could see it mid-season. I don't know if I see it right now.
Right. See, I wouldn't even wait till mid-season. I would do it right now because they've shown letting Nick Foles walk.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is their guy.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way around it. He's going to be much cheaper over however long the contract is, whether it be 5-6 years, compared to wait until the end of the year and say he. Hypothetically, he has an MVP caliber season, 40 touchdowns, however many interceptions, like maybe 10. But at least in my head, it makes so much more sense just to sign him now.
I do agree there. I don't know. I'm worried. I mean, like, look at Nick Foles got paid way too much.
Oh, I
mean,
completely agree. And I think it was either their GM or their owner even said it. Like, yeah, we paid a little more than we should have, but we wanted that guy in here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Now, and that's one thing I neglected to bring up in the show, and that's my fault. But obviously, Nick Foles got signed to Jacksonville Jaguars.
4-year, $88 million, and then maybe getting $102 million out of now. It's just like
what I think it's like 50-something guaranteed.
Yeah, 55 guaranteed.
And then if he plays throughout the whole contract, I think it's like $102 million.
Yeah, for 4 years, like that's absolutely
for
insane.
a guy that's never played a full season. That's
I get it.
That's
he won
amazing
Super Bowl, MVP. I get that he was
right.
Philly's superhero.
Right.
But you don't pay a man that much money for one when he's been on his own on 2 teams. He's done nothing.
Right.
The Rams, he got benched. He went to the Chiefs. He was a backup nobody. He came to Philly. He changed.
Right.
But I mean, I get that. But are you going to get that Nick Foles from Jacksonville?
Right. And that's the thing. And I've told Kyle multiple times on that. You can check him out on Saturdays, 1:00 on A2D. I just don't. I mean, he's obviously not like a top tier.
Yeah, no.
Like, don't get me wrong. He's a starter in the NFL. There's no denying that.
He should be. Yeah,
he's an absolute starter, and I'm fine with that. But my thing is, from what he's shown throughout his entire career, he's never played a full season. People make the argument the 27-2 year, but he came in for Michael Vick.
Yeah, he played part of the year still.
Right, and that was arguably the best year of his career.
Exactly.
Statistically, anyway.
He's good coming off as a backup, playing a couple games, and then that's it.
And that's the thing. I don't know if it's just like a psychological thing with him or what it is, but whenever he comes in, and we've seen it multiple times. Mm-hmm. We saw it this past season. He'll come in and replace starting quarterback. He'll play well for you'll get like 3 or 4 solid games out of him, mm-hmm. and then he kind of just
because the first 2 games he looked horrible. Yeah. And then he came in the LA game. He didn't do anything. Our team decided, okay, let's start winning.
Yeah, the defense woke up.
And that's what saved us.
Right.
And then Nick Foles got a little better. He got better next week. We won again.
It was a I think he set an Eagles record, I think, for most yards in a game. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that was the Texans, yeah. And then, that was huge. But then, he started getting better, but he didn't show where I would never pick Nick Foles over Wentz.
No, well, yeah, just from
how he played. You don't even in the preseason. I get it's then, but he looked horrible.
Oh, he did look
horrible.
And
then in the Tampa game, he looked horrible.
Right.
If he's gonna play at that bad in hot weather, go like Jacksonville. I mean,
well, I don't really think the weather is a big issue
but
for him. I think it's just. I could be wrong. I'm not going to speak for Nick, obviously, but I think it's one of those things where once the spotlight is on him,
it gets very under
and
pressure.
He knows he's the guy. Mm-hmm. He tends to get in his own head at times. Now, obviously, he didn't see that in the Super Bowl because he knew
that was Wentz's team.
Yeah, it's Wentz's team, and he said that multiple times.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I wish him nothing but the best. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Guys, our first Super Bowl.
Oh, got us our first. He'll never have to buy a drink in the city again.
Oh, hell no.
But I wish him the best of luck. But I'll tell him that. But at the same time, I know in my head, I just don't see him changing the culture in Jacksonville.
I do agree.
Because they're lacking on O-line.
They got Chris Conley. Whew.
They have no weapons. Their defense, I think, should bounce back.
D's okay, but they don't have a star wideout like they had when they had Allen Robinson and they had Allen Hearns.
How you let Allen Robinson go? Allen Hearns, I get, but
Robinson,
how you let him go?
I
have no clue how you let him go. And
he didn't even get paid that well either, in my opinion.
Well, he was coming off a what do you call it? He was coming off a severe knee injury.
Yeah,
so that I think hurt him. But you got anything else to add?
No, I think so. I think that's it.
All right, guys, that's going to be our show for this week. Check us out next week again. The weekly roundup at 4 p.m. on Saturdays, only on A2D Radio.
See you guys.
See you guys.